How are we doing today? It's things are getting weird. And dangerous, so to speak. I'm moving some paper around while I'm talking to you. I got here a little late and just barely in time to get the show going, but hey, I'm here. And Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa, Wisconsin. Yes, Kenosha, Wisconsin is becoming more dangerous. There is a bunch of, I wouldn't say breaking news because it happened last night, but it's new this morning if you haven't paid attention since last night. Also, the Republican National Convention obviously is going on still. And we're, what's going on here? Let's see. Is that better? Okay, I got to turn my gain up. It's too high, too low. There we go. So, yeah, there's a lot going on, and I'm just going to go through a few things. But I want to talk about, too, today, is Nick Sandmann, who seems to be having wins, and some people aren't happy about it. Some people are really upset that Nick Sandmann's even back in the public limelight. And in the immortal words of Elvis Presley, fuck him. Play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, Dawg Knight. And stop the music. There we go. Good morning, people. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet. Welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel. It is Wednesday, Hump Day, the 26th of August, 2020. This is the, 403rd episode of the Morning Night Live, entitled Myths and Legends. And I certainly, I can't put myself in that category, but it would be a myth to think that I'm not a legend. Anyway, I have to do my tweet because I didn't get a chance to do that this morning because I'm running late. And so talk about yourself for a second while I do that. Today, though, we are going to be talking about Nick Sandmann, the Covington Catholic Ute, who gained great notoriety, or bad notoriety. I don't know what you call it, but the networks and TV people and celebrities all tried to take a shit on him, and now he's starting to have the last laugh. Here, hang on. Is streaming now. Oh, live now. I always say live now. Sorry, I'm doing some back, what do you call it, work? Some busy work in the background work. But Nick had a speech at the Republican National Convention last night. They invited him to speak, and I thought he did good for a young 18-year-old recent high school graduate who gained notoriety by no fault of his own, by no choice of his own, because some activist dickhead decided that he looked like a good target and decided to bang a drum in his face. And the kid, who awkwardly smirked, which wasn't a smirk, he just smiled awkwardly. But when you get that split second of photo that the what's a good word for him? Dickwads like. I'm swearing up a storm today. That's kind of what happens, and so the media ran with it, the Twitterverse ran with it, the Facebook people ran with it, and all tried to vilify young Nick Sandmann. And it turned out that, things just weren't as they seemed. And so Nick Sandmann is now, courtesy of the Washington Post and CNN, this is CNN, a very wealthy young man. They sued the Washington Post for $250 million. They sued CNN for $275 million. Now, the Washington Post settled early. Probably, I'm going to guess, if there was a $250 million lawsuit, they settled with the Washington Post early because that's what pays for the rest of the lawsuits. Probably, I'm going to guess, in the $25 million range. because this lawsuit, here it is. The thing is, when you are a case against, or a case versus a minor, in this case, all you have to, I don't remember if libel or slander, whichever one, all you have to have is material falsehoods. And there were plenty of them that people were talking about once you saw the entire, what am I doing here? Shit, sorry. I'm trying to talk while I'm also trying to send out my notifications. And it's not easy because I'm not the most, what's good. My manual dexterity and my brain don't always work in sync. So I'm just going to take a second here. Sorry, guys. But anyway, when you're having a suit, when a minor is slandered or whatever that the networks did, there's a lower burden of proof when it's a minor. And so CNN, Washington Post, anyone he's suing right now does not stand a chance. Let's just put it that way. Now, they could have obviously tried to say that they could have said, what am I saying here? Their only defense would have been, oh, there's something that this is all true, but there were clearly material facts that were untrue when they were dealing with Mr. Sandmann. So anyway, now that I got my tweets out, if you want to do me a favor and retweet or share the show, that'd be fantastic. Thank you already to Maddie, who's in the chat as Ronan today, and let's see. Thank you, Cynical Lindsay, Neckersaw Collins, for already retweeting the show out this morning. So anyway, let me say good morning now, because I'm kind of disoriented. And again, I just got here, so I haven't even got to pull up all my articles. But there was one tweet that I've got to show you eventually. But let's say good morning to everybody first. First in the chat today was Tarai Deos. Who gets the bell? Good morning, my friend. Also, good morning to Richo, my friend from down under. Ronan Wolf is actually Maddie today. She's on Ronan's phone. Good morning to Bear Cock. You guys see the guy with the Kalishnikov in Kenosha? Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about Kenosha, too. Good morning, Tyler F., John Sislowski, Donatello Slapafellow, Sugar Blue Driftwood, Gunfox 61, Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Donatello. Oh, I said Donatello Slapfellow. Advocatus Diaboli. This is Devil's Advocates. Selecta Boy.
Yeah, boy.
Also, Lord Rothschild, Cynic Lindsay, Aaron Meredith, Ebony Williams. Nice to see you back 2 days in a row. Fantastic. Good morning, Balin Bobby. Good morning from New Mexico. And I'm sure people are rolling in. I started with, when I started there was 11 people. Now there's 24. So people are coming in. If you're lurking in the background, that's fine. Lurk away. If you're driving, be careful. Don't try to, watch and talk at the same time or drive or whatever. And if you're watching or listening at work, I really appreciate that. Thanks for being here. I do appreciate all of you. All right. So the one, thank you, Truck and Bear, the Green Pangolin now. That's a name change. Tyler F. and Necrosol, I already said good thank you too for retweeting the show. Okay, so I'm watching all this stuff that people are talking about Nick Sandmann, and it's really, there are people now. I granted this is pure Trump derangement syndrome, because this kid, good morning, CNN sucks. That's the most redundant name on the internet. The Trump derangement syndrome over Nick Sandmann, who was slandered and lied about by Chief Lying Firepants, Nathan Phillips, and I'm surprised. I don't know if they're going to go after Nathan Phillips or not. They should, because he was the chief slanderer of Nick Sandmann. Completely lied in his interviews about Nick on public airwaves about a 15-year-old kid, right? And but this tweet is just indicative of what's going around. As I'm reading people talk about Nicholas Sandmann, Joe Lockhart. Now, Joe, if you don't know who Joe Lockhart is, Joe Lockhart is a CNN political analyst. I believe he was a part of the Clinton administration. Yes, he was analyst, communications director for the Clinton White House. I don't know what GPG is, founder of that. So, but he's a CNN analyst. Now, CNN, good morning, Kingslayer Damocles and Renee Mayette. CNN settled their lawsuit with Nick Sandmann. Now, there are some reports, we don't know if these are accurate or not, but that settlement was in the $60 to $80 million range. Okay, so $25 million from the Washington Post, between $60 and $80 million from CNN. They settled because they knew they didn't stand a chance in this lawsuit. They just did not. There was no chance. The material facts is it for when it's a ute. All you have to do is prove that there were material facts that were incorrect, and there were plenty in this case. Very simple. Okay. So you would think now again, and also it was a sealed settlement. Okay, supposedly no one's supposed to talk about it. Someone said something about Don Lemon. Who was talking about Don Lemon up here? Someone said Don Lemon, because Don Lemon opened his damn mouth. Don Lemon said the riots was to stop. Okay. Oh, okay, I'll get to that. I thought it was something about Sandmann. Any CNN person, whether you are employee CNN or if you're a contractor for CNN, it would probably be best if you shut the fuck up about Nick Sandmann. And yet, Joe Lockhart, CNN analyst, watching the Republican National Convention last night, says, I'm watching tonight because it's important, but I don't have to watch this snot-nosed, entitled kid from Kentucky.
Wow.
Oh my God. Okay, now someone down here, I don't know, Joe, if CNN's holding out and giving you a raise, have you tried smirking in front of an elderly Native American man? Yeah. Snot-nosed entitled kid from Kentucky who sued the shit out of the company that employs you and won. Yes. What a stupid self-destructive thing to say. He won, and CNN and WAPO and others are going to lose. Yeah, but there's still people who believe the other side of the story, the fake side, the chief lying fire pants side of the story. Hello, Mike Savage, Scarborough, Green Thunder to Mighty, Blarg. So, like this person down here, this pompous kid was so disrespectful while mocking the American Indian chief. It was shocking. I have never seen a teen show such contempt for another human being or culture. Hey, moron! Did you see a split-second photo or did you watch the entire video? You know what? In fact, I'm going to do this because I want to make sure that we all know exactly what happened here. And I'm going to, again, play, what's his name? Linwood. Here, because he has the best explanation of what happened to Nick Sandmann. Why is my God? I need to get this fixed. Here we go. We're gonna go to L. Linwood's channel, and okay, that ain't working. Oh, maybe he took his channel down. I don't know. Anyway, let's see if this works. Where's his channel? Did they make it harder to find Linwood's channel? That pisses me off. All right. Well, anyway, you all know the damn story. Hey, Larry, how you doing? Hi. Y'all know the story. And this ass wipe. Now, let me do a little search on Twitter too. Let's go, Nick Nicholas Sandmann, RNC. We're gonna watch. Actually, we're gonna watch young Mr. Sandmann's video, his speech here. Oh, cool. He's on. He is actually on Twitter too. I think I'm gonna follow him just for the hell of it. All right. Oh, and oh my God, this story is this is nuts. Anyway, let's see if this is the whole speech. Nick Sandmann. In a, hang on a second here. Nick Sandmann, a teen videotaped in an incident. Now this is Reuters. Nicholas Sandmann, a teen videotaped in an incident involving Native American activist Nathan Phillips, slammed the media. Oh, hello. We got our first super chat of the day. Thank you, Bear Cock, who's now the superstar donor of the day. Thank you, Bear Cock, with the $5. Here's a tip from Cock. Okay, thank you. We have that would be a cock tip. Okay, thank you, Bear Cock. Good morning, Chadwick Dupree. How you doing? So let's watch. Let's see. I want to do the whole damn thing though. You know what I couldn't find this morning though, because the RNC is playing on CNN, right? And I'm pretty confident that CNN had to run that speech in its entirety and not say a damn thing, which was fantastic. Okay, this isn't the whole one, but here we go.
Hey everyone.
Let's see. Yep, hang on.
Media. After an encounter defamed by the media.
Oh no, this is just. I want
no.
I want the whole damn speech. Let's go back here. Let's see. Hang on. Nicholas Sandmann. Hello. God, this shit's going slow. Well, let's just do this. Let's try that. I want the whole damn speech. Here we go. Here's C-SPAN's version. Donald Trump retweeted it. Look at that. Look at that. Nick Sandmann gets tweeted out by Donald Trump himself. Hot dog. Wow, the kid's probably very happy. Okay, here we go. This is the speech.
Who was defamed by the media.
Okay, let me start it over because he gets the laughs here.
My name is Nick Sandmann, and I'm the teenager who was defamed by the media after an encounter with a group of protesters on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial last year. Before I begin, I'd like to thank President Trump for the opportunity to share some of my story and why it matters so much to this November's election. In 2019, I attended the March for Life in Washington, D.C., where I demonstrated in defense of the unborn. Later that day, I bought a Make America Great Again hat because our president, Donald Trump, has distinguished himself as one of the most pro-life presidents in the history of our country, and I wanted to express my support for him too. Looking back now, how could I possibly imagine that the simple act of putting on that red hat would unleash hate from the left and make myself the target of network and cable news networks nationwide? Being from Kentucky, the birthplace of Abraham Lincoln, my classmates and I visited the Lincoln Memorial.
Now, hold on. Yeah, they did. But also that's where they were meeting wait for the bus too. That's where all their chaperones and teachers said, okay, we're all going to meet here at this time and we're going to wait for the bus to come pick us up, and we're waiting at the Lincoln Memorial. And then that's when all hell broke. Well, not all hell broke loose. It really didn't. Okay, wait, I'm going to let him talk and then I'll make my point here.
I found myself face to face with Nathan Phillips and other professional protesters looking to...
That is correct. Nathan Phillips is quite the professional protester. He and also he has a history of making certain types of claims as a victim. But anyway, let's go.
It turned me into the latest poster child, showing why Trump is bad. While the media portrayed me as an aggressor with a relentless smirk on my face, In reality, the video confirms I was standing with my hands behind my back and an awkward smile on my face that hid two thoughts. One, don't do anything that might further agitate the man banging a drum in my face.
Right?
And two, I was trying to follow a family friend's advice. Never to do anything to embarrass your family, your school, or your community. Before I knew what was happening, it was over. One of Mr. Phillips' fellow agitators yelled out, "We got him. It's all right here on video. And we won, Grandpa." What I
Now, okay, this is the point I want to stop at. So you've all, I'm assuming you've all seen the video, right? And and in fact, the Elle Linwood video is the best one, but unfortunately I don't have it queued up. So they have this pseudo standoff, right? And their buses show up. So the teachers are like, okay, let's get out of here because the buses are here. Let's go. You know, and I don't think anyone knew that if there'd be any significance whatsoever, because the one kid, the guy who said, "We got him, Grandpa," was arguing with one of the other kids, and Nick Sandmann looked back and said, "No, don't argue with them. Just let him go. Let it be. Don't argue with them." So Nick Sandmann was trying to de-escalate any potential situation that could happen, right? And so the kids leave for the bus, and this guy's like, "Oh, we got him, Grandpa." Can you imagine, as you're walking away from this seemingly innocuous minor event, right? And you get home, and all of a sudden, I don't even know how much later it was, a day or two, the same night or the next night, your face is all over every major news network. And you're starting to get doxing calls. You're starting to get, angry people yelling at the school, and the school making a statement that we apologize for this incident, and we're going to have an investigation. And all you did was stand there while some dumbass chief lying fire pants is banging a drum in your face. All you did was stand there. Can you imagine? Imagine what that would feel like. And I still, in a way, feel sorry for this kid, even though he's probably $100 million richer and still going to win lawsuits if people don't settle. There are some people that they've sued. I can't remember all of them. But now that he has the money, they want to settle. I would say, fuck no, let's go. Let's go to court. Let's go to court, assholes. I think Bill Maher, Chief Lying Fire Pants, I think Kathy Griffin's one. Now, there have some people apologize. Like, for example, Whoopi Goldberg apologized and said, you're looking at that video, we see what really happened. Everyone owes this kid's an apology. But holy shit. Anyway, good morning to the gayest person on YouTube, and also to Jay Wolf, and also to Disney XD, yes, or Disney Junior, no, VSAP, which I still don't know if you're a real person or not, or if you're just here just to try to sell me something. I don't know, but it's a long name and it's very tedious, so I'm just going to call you Disney. Okay, let's finish this up.
Thought was a strange encounter quickly developed into a major news story, complete with video footage. My life changed forever in that one moment. The full war machine of the mainstream media revved up into attack mode. They did so without researching the full video of the incident, without ever investigating Mr. Phillips' motives, or without ever asking me for my side of the story. And do you know why? Because the truth was not important. Advancing their anti-Christian, anti-conservative, anti-Donald Trump narrative was all that mattered. And if advancing their narrative ruined the reputation and future of a teenager from Covington, Kentucky, well, so be it. That would teach him not to wear a MAGA hat. I learned what was happening to me
Cairo, good morning, by the way. Cairo says, please, I've been railroaded by the media like this several times over, and no one cared because my skin is white. Like Sandmann? Like national news type railroaded by the media like Sandmann? I I'm curious. I'm curious about that story because I'm very interested in hearing about it. I'm glad he had come out, but you have no idea how many lives get ruined by these people. Anyone who threatens Marx, absolutely, absolutely. And I think the reason I like this story or appreciate the story is this kid is winning. And I would love to see everybody who gets this treatment to win against these people. They need to snap out of it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. But I am interested in your story, Kyra. I'd like to hear what you're talking about. You know, and like I said, I wish everyone who gets smeared by the media like this would have the temerity to sue and be able to pursue it. Now, the only reason I think he's able to be successful, because they can come up with some bullshit that you're a public figure and all this other shit, but he was not a public figure, and he was a minor. So, I'm just saying, your college arrested me in a Planned Parenthood I'm assuming that meant Planned Parenthood protests and said I beat up the military colonel. Huh. Was it national news? Like, were you plastered all over CNN when this happened? I'm not sure. I'm curious if this was like a similar case. But yeah, that's fucked up. So anyway, back to Nick here.
Had a name. It was called being canceled, as in annulled, as in revoked, as in made void. Canceled is what's happening to people around this country who refuse to be silenced by the far left. Many are being fired, humiliated, or even threatened. And often, the media is a willing participant. But I would not be canceled. I fought back hard to expose the media for what they did to me, and I won a personal victory. While much more must be done, I look forward to the day that the media returns to providing balanced, responsible, and accountable news coverage. I know President Trump hopes for that too. And I know you'll agree with me when we say that no one in this country...
By the way, the rest of the speech is boring, but the fact... Well, I'll wait to the end, because just imagine this rolling on CNN and all the heads exploding in the CNN newsrooms.
...has been a victim of unfair media coverage more than President Donald Trump. In November, I believe this country must unite around a president who calls the media out and refuses to allow them to create a narrative instead of reporting the facts. I believe we must join a president who will challenge the media to return to objective journalism. And together, I believe we must all embrace our First Amendment rights and not hide in fear of the media,
wait for
or
it,
from the tech companies, or from the outrage mob either. This is worth fighting for. This is worth voting for. And this is what Donald Trump stands for. Thank you all for listening to me tonight. And one more thing. Let's make America great again.
And he puts the hat back on with a big fat fuck you. Personally, now, I think it would have been much more entertaining if after he put the hat on... Now remember, this is coming from someone who's not a MAGA person. But after he put the hat on, if he would have given a big old fat double fuck you to the people who are bitching about wearing the hat. So you're protesting ROTC bigoted policy on scholarships, weighed 130 pounds, Colonel was 6'8", did nothing to him. My life was in my hometown was ruined. That sucks, man. The paper, in order to cover for the university, did day after day front page about how I beat up an army colonel. Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. If you have any, if you want to send me something on that, I would love to read it. I'm sure there's probably some articles from the day. I'm very curious about the Cairo Alexander. I'm sorry, I'm having a conversation just with Cairo here, but I'm reading his tweets or his chat. It's a very interesting story that I've never heard. All right, so. The big story, actually, right now, I wanted to start with Nicholas Sandmann, but there are some things that are a little more pressing in the world, particularly in Kenosha, Wisconsin, where what's his name? What's the dude's name. Oh, what the hell's his name? Who's the guy who died? Or not died? He hasn't died. He was shot by cops. Anyway, reporters from live Wisconsin riots get caught in the crossfire. 2 people shot. Daily Caller reporter first to render aid. At least 2 people were shot early Wednesday morning during riots in Kenosha, Wisconsin. One man was allegedly shot in the head directly across the street from a hospital in Kenosha, according to a tweet from Elijah Schaefer. Breaking, they shot someone in the head at the Kenosha riot right now. I repeat, someone has been shot in what appears to be a head in the head while looting a car shop. I cannot confirm the exact location, but he's white and losing a lot of blood. I will update who shot him. 2 people are dead, according to police. It is not clear if the deceased are the same people who were reportedly shot. Jacob Blake, yes, thank you. Kingslayer, you've seen that video. I'm curious what your take on that is. I have my opinion. I guess there's more information. As I'm watching someone fight with police and then reach into their car, I don't know what you're supposed to do as an officer. There's a couple scenarios. He's reaching under the seat because it looked like he was reaching under the seat. Is he reaching for his gun? What is he doing? After showing he's already willing to fight with police officers, and he did have warrants for his arrest, and I'm very curious because I was watching the press conference with Crump, that guy that seems to like to travel around the country and take all these cases, but he keeps losing them though. That's what I don't get. There's probably better lawyers. I think he's 1 for 10 on these shooting cases. And some of them he should have won. I'm telling you, but there's some that I don't know what you do. But anyway, the Kenosha Police Department says on August 25th, 2020, about 11:45 p.m., Kenosha Police, along with assisting agencies, responded to the area of 63rd Street and Sheridan Road for reports of shots being fired and multiple gunshot victims. The shooting resulted in 2 fatalities, and a 3rd gunshot victim was transported to a hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. The shooting investigation is active and ongoing. No further details regarding the shooting will be released at this time. No names, ages, and cities of residence for the victims are still being determined. And then for anyone who witnesses the shooting, please contact the Kenosha Police Department, blah, blah, blah. So multiple shots appear to have been fired, although it is unclear where the shots originated from. The Daily Caller's Richie McGinnis carried the injured individual to a car. The victim is now in the hospital. So this is officers came out of the courthouse, which is now has a fence around it, and the crowd is angry. Well, guess what? The police didn't do this shooting. These were the police shooting people. And then they're out there firing. This is part of just some of the protests / riots. Good morning, Mitch the Ripper. How you doing? Sean DW, what's up? According to day drinking housewives, you're supposed to get shot, shoot them in the leg, or wait until you see them pointing the gun at you. Yeah. Keep your hands where police can see, especially if you have already fought with them. Yeah, okay. I'm saying I see people still saying that this guy was shot down innocently in the street, but most of the people talking about it haven't seen the extended video. I'm guessing they're seeing the original video. And every time this type of video comes out, you only see the part that the person who shot the video wants you to see. And when you see from another angle, he's already fighting with police, and they're ordering him and telling him not to go around to his door. And he gets... Now, first of all, I think the officers made a mistake here in allowing him to get to the car door. The other officers should have came all the way around the car and blocked that door. That probably would have been the way to avoid the shooting incident, maybe. He wouldn't have been able to reach into the car. But I think that I just don't think they reacted fast enough. Those people are fucking stupid. A man fought with the cop for about 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah, and got away from... Yeah, see, that's the other part. all these people seeing the video. Then you got LeBron James and all these basketball players and the athletes and talking about this, who still have only seen the first video, not the whole story. Here's a question for you in the chat, and this may be a good one. What percentage of people do you think, okay, just the people who are insisting that this was just them shooting down another black man, what percentage of people do you think, once they see the entire video, will change their mind about this particular incident? I'm just curious. Hang on a second here. I gotta check something here. Oh, this thing's slow. By the way, okay, here we go. Thank you, Lindsay, for sending me this. And I am about to share it as soon as it pops up. All right, so apparently, and the other story is, it's so funny. Another one of the stories is, and I don't know where this comes from. I've seen this happen more on one of these occasions, where someone comes up with a story that the person, whoever in question, they were just breaking up a fight. They said that with Eric Garner, and they said that with somebody else too. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So anyway, let's see what this has been Matt Walsh I think he's from the Daily Caller. No, he's from Daily Wire. The media narrative is already falling apart. Jacob Blake was not breaking up a fight. I told you from the start that was BS. A woman called 911 to report that he was at her house and shouldn't be. He stole her car keys. Cops responding were aware of his warrants. So there's one part. The female officer should be fired. She didn't attempt to help the other two officers non-lethally apprehend Blake. And that, I tend to agree with you there, Kingslayer Damocles. She seemed to be useless in this situation. So they knew he had a warrant. Okay. So that's why they were arresting him. He had a warrant. Let's see. Let's see. Madison 365. Let's read the article here. Oh, but of course they say Kenosha police opened fire less than 5 minutes after being called. Okay, and the time that they fired of them being called is irrelevant. If there's a case where you get called and immediately you go and there's gunfire shooting at you, should you have to wait more than 5 minutes to shoot back? That time makes nothing to do with it anyway. So anyway, here's the article from Madison 365. Kenosha police opened fire less than 5 minutes after being called. Scanner audio. Kenosha police scanner audio indicates that police opened fire on 29-year-old Jacob Blake less than 5 minutes after they were initially contacted. 5 minutes is irrelevant. If they tried to arrest, now it could have been, well, anyway. In a cell phone video shared widely on social media, Blake can be seen being followed by two officers with weapons drawn as he opens his car door and leans inside. He reached inside, which is obvious from the video. Also, notice where they start this. In that particular cell phone video, where he is being followed by the officers, but they don't talk about the other video where he's fighting with the officers. That's really fascinating. But this is Madison, so Blake remains in serious condition in a Milwaukee hospital. According to audio obtained by Madison 365, someone called police to report that Blake was at her home and wasn't supposed to be, and that he had taken her keys and was refusing to give them back. A dispatcher relayed this message to patrol officers at about 5:11 p.m. Sunday. About 30 seconds later, she let patrol officers know that there was an alert at this address for a 99 for this subject, apparently to indicate that a warrant had been issued for Blake's arrest. Court records indicate a warrant was issued on 3 charges, 2 misdemeanors and 1 Class G felony on July 7th. Court records indicate no previous criminal charges in the state of Wisconsin. About a minute after the initial call, the dispatcher indicated that Blake was leaving the premises and the woman who had initially called had hung up. Just 5 minutes after the initial call, an officer could be heard reporting shots fired, and the dispatcher acknowledged the report. Additional officers were then dispatched to the scene, another officer asking responding officers to verify that the officers initially on the scene were okay. About 40 seconds after the report that shots had been fired, an officer on the scene requests rescue ASAP, presumably for Blake. About 2 minutes after the shots fired call, another officer reported that all officers on the scene are okay. So, but that 5 minutes. And was there anything else critical about that 5 minutes or not? Just curious. Let's see. He says down here, witnesses in these cases almost always lie. The disturbing thing that so often the family lies too. This means there are two potentially justifiable reasons to shoot Blake. One, that he was going for a gun. Another is that the other is that a wanted domestic abuser was trying to flee with a van full of kids. Well, I don't know. I'd rather, again, I'm still on 5-day rule on this, regardless of that article, but that does fill in one more piece of the picture. But I'm more interested in a full investigation here than necessarily Matt Walsh's opinions. But that call changes things too, though. This guy is on a warrant. And one is I don't know what a Class G felony is. Let's see. Let's find out what a Class G felony is in Wisconsin. Hang on here. Let's look that up. Let's see. Wisconsin Class G felony. All right, let's see. All right, here's the answer to that question. Today. All right, so this is from somebody called Stang Law Offices. In Wisconsin, all felonies In Wisconsin, hello Chrome, hello Richard Cranium, what's up? In Wisconsin, all serious criminal matters that are permanently affect your livelihood and reputation. Wisconsin is blah 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 blah. What is a Class G felony? According to Wisconsin statute, a Class G felony is punishable by up to 10 years in state prison, maximum fine of $225,000 or both. Common Class G felonies include offenses such as sexual assault and repeated operating while intoxicated. So it's so we're somewhere in that ballpark. So if it is because of a sexual whatever something type of crime, that would be another reason not to allow him to take a car full of kids. But if you watch that video, it's he reaches into the car after he's fought with police. So I don't know. It sucks. It's unfortunate, but damn, people lose their minds because they only see part of the picture. Again. And again, I think it seemed as though the female officer was useless in this case. So I don't know. Holy shit. Anyway, back to let's see. Let's get back to this. Is there anything else on this article? Kenosha saw another. Okay. These are just videos. Let me go back into another article about this. Hang on. My slow ass internet. Oh boy. This is so frustrating. 1 second here. There we go. All right, shots fired during Kenosha BLM riots after Democratic governor reportedly refused federal help. Shootings reportedly broke out in Kenosha, Wisconsin on Tuesday night after the state's everything disappears. As the state's Democratic governor had reportedly refused help from the Trump administration to stop the violence. This latest development in Kenosha, which has a Democratic mayor, comes after Governor Tony Evers reportedly refused help from the Trump administration that law enforcement said they needed to maintain peace. I got a call today from Congressman who represents that district and from Senator Johnson as well, really just pleading for help, saying that the local sheriff and the mayor and police chief needed some additional assistance. White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows said, I got on the phone right away and offers assistance in the form of additional National Guard help. Meadows added the president was on the phone with the governor today. We have a National Guard standing by, and if the general for the National Guard in Kenosha needs additional help, we're there to do it, but today that request was denied by the governor. President Donald Trump even tweeted about it on Tuesday evening. Governor should call in the National Guard in Wisconsin. It is ready, willing, and more than able to help. Or more than able, and problem fast. That's typical Trump tweet. So anyway, and then just all kinds of things. Here's one of the fires in the parking lots of a car dealership in Kenosha. And I think that's the lot where the shots were fired. That's from Julio Rosa. Here, multiple gunshots fired after people chased a guy with a rifle. Rifle dude tripped and fell. He fired his gun at a guy who jumped on top of him. I'm not going to show the videos on these. And then here, a writer's been shot in the head. Oh, boy. This shit's getting serious. Seriously crazy. Not good. All right, should we talk about something more cheery? I don't know. Before we do that, let me do the shill. The Morning Night Live is brought to you by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. If you haven't done so already and you like what we do, hit the like button, that thumbs up down there. And if you really like what we do, drop a couple bucks in the tip jar through the Streamlabs link in the description down below. That's where you do our super chats, or you can also donate via Venmo and Cash App. Those links are in the chat down below, description down below. And finally, please share the stream out. Let's bring more. The more the merrier. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your fellow internet groupies. I don't know if you have internet groupies. I don't know what to call them. Internet friends. Just tell them to come by sometime and hope they enjoy the show. All right. Holy crap. Let's see. What else is new right now? I'm going to... Let's see. Was there anything really... I didn't see a whole lot of the RNC speeches last night. I saw Sandmann's. I've seen a few this morning. Pam Bondi from Florida, the former Attorney General of Florida, she ripped into Biden's, what do you call it, dealings with family members getting rich because of Biden's name. You should check that out if you're interested. Oh, this is a good one too. So Trump, who's, you got to think that he does this intentionally, knowing what kind of reaction he's going to get, right? And so yesterday, they did a naturalization ceremony for some immigrants at the Republican National Convention. Or at least they showed the footage of it because it wasn't planned. This was not part of the plan at all. And so President Trump, in the middle of the RNC, they stopped and did this. Oh, this is 9 minutes long. But anyway, I'll show you a couple minutes of it. They had these 5 immigrants become American citizens during the Republican National Convention. And it's just, the video's not going to go. I'm going to skip the video. The left fumed over a naturalization ceremony aired during the Republican National Convention second night that featured President Trump and Acting Department of Homeland Security Secretary Chad Wolf welcoming 5 new citizens to America. Former Obama administration official Wendy Sherman tweeted about the ceremony, that the ceremony was a horror. Aren't these the pro-immigrant people? Trump, he does some shit that goes, the IDGAF. IDGAF is just all Trump is. A horror. Go Joyanne Reed on MSNBC. Terrific riff on the horror of the naturalization ceremony for something so sacred and by an administration that has been so awful to immigrants and asylum seekers. No, he's not been bad to immigrants, but he has been done bad for illegal immigrants, and no, not asylum seekers. Okay, very few of those people have been coming up in these caravans and shit from the border, from other countries through Mexico. Very few of them are actually asylum seekers. But anyway, the nation's justice correspondent called it disgusting. Oh, an immigration naturalization ceremony is disgusting? What, do you hate immigrants? Here's what she said. I'm so thankful for Joyanne Reed hitting the naturalization ceremony thing. I like to think that I cannot be surprised by the depravity of these people, but that ceremony got me. It was honestly one of the lowest things I've ever seen in American politics. Maybe you need to know some naturalized citizens to get how truly disgusting that was. Hey, you know, I know that President Trump knows a naturalized citizen intimately. Former President Obama's advisor, Valerie Jarrett. Yes, I am absolutely concerned about what Valerie Jarrett has to say. She says, the Hatch Act is a law designed to separate politics from public service. Those lines are being erased tonight. You know what's funny about that? The Hatch Act has a very specific and written exception to the rule. And that would be that the President of the United States, see, the Hatch Act says government employees cannot use government facilities and blah, blah, blah for political purposes. But it has a very specific exception for the President of the United States and for the Vice President of the United States. Thank you, Tarai Deos, with the 556. Beverly Beatty and her group protested at the Chicago mayor's house and were arrested this past weekend. She has a video up for it. Beverly was one of the people to paint over the BLM sign in front of the Trump Tower. Yes, or Beverly Beatty. I call her Beatty. I did not know that. I'll have to check that out. Thank you so much, Troy Deos, for the 556. And you're the new super side donor of the day on the Dawg Knight Channel on the Morning Night Live. Thank you. Thank you very much. Sorry. And good morning, Gamer Valine. I know I saw you pop in here. Yes, yeah, I have the power again. Even the cell tower was impacted, literally couldn't get on the YouTube. Oh, that sucks. I'm glad you have power again. Oh yeah, Ivana too. Yeah, that's right. He is also, he knows a second naturalized citizen intimately. Okay, enough of that. Oh my God. Yes, the Hatch Act refers to a federal law that prohibits political activities of federal employees while on official duty, and the president's critics have suggested that the Trump administration is violating the law by hosting RNC events at the White House. New York Times opinion columnist Jamil Bowie said Wolf broke the law in conducting the ceremony. Well, no, that's not. Conducting a immigration ceremony is not a political activity. Yeah, the fact that they televised it during the convention, maybe, but I don't know. let's see. So Chad Wolf, who is illegally performing the duties of DHS head, broke the law by conducting a naturalization ceremony as part of a partisan event at the White House. Do I have that right? Well, I don't know. The Never Trumpers joined in on the Hatch Act violation cries. Never Trumper Tom Nichols. Oh my God, I can see his tweet. I haven't been able to see Tom Nichols blocked me like 4 years ago. I have no idea why. But for some reason, I think I disagreed with him once, and he blocks anyone who disagrees with him. And I used to agree with him once in a while. Anyway, Never Trumper Tom Nichols tweeted, another official act performed for a political convention because the Hatch Act is for chumps. Former Department of Defense now, and he is definitely flirting with the law here. I think I just got to say. Please stop that. Please, what the oh, no? Is that what you're talking about, Teddy? Hi, Zombie Teddy. Hi, check your logic. I can't stop doing it. Anyway, and former Department of Defense counsel Ryan Goodman called the ceremony a Hatch Act violation that would lay the groundwork for even more serious violations in the weeks ahead. Referring to the ongoing Justice Department investigation into Obama-era probes into the Trump campaign. Nope. Now, see, he says, and let's keep our eyes on the ball. Normalization of these Hatch Act violations is laying the groundwork for even more serious violations in the weeks ahead, as Barr's Department of Justice and other agencies may be used to bolster Trump's reelection campaign. Hey, I got an idea for those people that John Durham is investigating. In the immortal words of what's the guy he's an actor, and he did the Truman Show, and what's his name, the weird guy, shut up phone, what's the dude's name? He played Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. What the hell is it? Jim Carrey. Yeah, Jim Carrey. In the immortal words of Jim Carrey, for all the people who are saying that maybe that John Durham's investigation might, what did he say? Barr's Department of Justice and other agencies may be used to bolster Trump's reelection campaign. All the people who are worried about that, I have, in the immortal words of Jim Carrey, stop breaking the law, asshole! Yes, stop breaking the law, assholes. All right. God. All right, let's see. Is there anything else? I'm sure there's more. I know more about the Republican National Convention. I just don't care. Oh, by the way, the Republican National Convention drew 5 times more viewers than the DNC. That's crazy. 5 times more viewers. Now, again, I would guess that a lot of the viewers watching the Republican National Convention are hate viewers as much as they are interested in watching it. The first night of the Republican National Convention, drew more than 5 times as many viewers as on C-SPAN's live stream than the first night of the Democratic National Convention. More than 440,000 viewers tuned into C-SPAN's live stream coverage to watch the first night of the RNC, compared to just 76,000 who turned in the first night of the DNC last week. Oh, and we have another 556. Thank you, Gamer Valine, for the super chat. And you are now. Well, how did that happen? Somehow you knocked Rideos out with the same amount, but that's okay. Gamer Valine says, they need to stop on immigration and racism. The PhD I work with got the doctorate to immigrate to the U.S. from, wait for it, Iran. He's taking his citizenship test this year. Couldn't do that if the bans on immigration were as the media wrote. Yeah, no, there's no immigration ban. He's trying to stop illegal immigration. Although I know whatever. That's a whole thing. God is really funny. He sent a delusion over the Dems. They can't even put out a show now. Wow, how far they've fallen. Yeah, here's the thing. So far, I guess the biggest difference for me between the two, and again, I'm not really watching them. I'm just watching clips afterwards. But it seems like the Democrats they're relying on the gloom and doom and the hate for Trump, but they aren't really saying what Joe Biden would do. And they were so reliant on celebrities, and most of America doesn't relate to celebrities. Like that little Julie, something Dreyfus, her little skit with Andrew Yang, that was so flat and stupid, not even funny. And then the Republicans come out here and just bring out a bunch of just normal people or people who've been affected by things that happened. Nick Sandmann and the guy who's the lobster fisherman from Maine, and just Main Street people coming in and talking and telling their stories. It's a real contrast. And again, obviously, the Republicans don't necessarily have the star power. But on the other hand, though you may like celebrities, you can't really relate. Yes, Julie Louis Dreyfus or whatever it is. You can't relate to the celebrities. I can relate to the guy, the lobster fishing small business guy, or the guy who, what's his name from Cuba, that had that great speech talking about, nowhere else to go. This is the place. This is the place where he was able to live out his dreams. And it's much more compelling to me. So, I don't know. So, the other thing, too. So, I was watching some guy on Twitter, Josh Marshall, he's Talking Points Memo. He was talking about, the second day of the RNC, their audience dropped by half. Okay. Their audience dropped by half, which is still twice what the Democrats' audience was. So, I don't know. And also, I think the other problem with the first night, especially now, this didn't happen as much on the Democratic National Convention, where the commentators were constantly cutting in and breaking in and doing their little stupid fact checks for the Republicans, and they weren't doing that for Democrats. They were just kind of letting the convention go. And even on like Fox News, I saw people complaining how Fox News wasn't even playing all the speeches. So I think a ton of people, as far as network TV and cable TV, I think a lot of people decided, you know what? I don't want this. So they all went to C-SPAN and they went online where they could get the convention uninterrupted on the second night. I think that happened the second night of the Democrats' convention too, where the networks are so busy, filleting themselves that they forget that the audience wants to see the other people, the people that they came to see, not them. And so I think that it was the same experience the second night. Good morning, BG. P-Dawg Knight Democrats are so fractured right now. If Biden pins down a policy, he's going to turn off at least half the party. So he has to give empty platitudes. Yeah, well, that's true too. Because they need all hands on deck. And they're the hands, the right hand and the left hand in the Democratic Party don't necessarily like each other, nor do they agree on anything, right? So anyway, I think you hit someone by accident. Oh, don't do that. I don't think the Cuban guy was good for reaching anyone other than intellectual conservatives, so it was nice, but mostly invisible. It was good speech, but the out of reach a lot of voters. Yeah, that's, you know what? He has a different story. He's too. America has no clue about Cuba for the most part. Yeah, I know, but he's still an immigrant who's came to America and showing his love for the country. I get your point there, though, Cairo. All right, so that's a ratings thing. I think there's enough. I think there's just as many hate watchers of the RNC as there are people who want to see the RNC. I think a lot more independent voters are watching to see what happens in the RNC, because I don't think anyone's excited about Joe Biden, but they do want to see, okay, what is it that the RNC is going to try to do this time, and would I be willing to, not ignore the riots in the street, but am I willing to vote for this because all this other shit that's happening right now is nuts? In Kenosha, Wisconsin, the governor declares a state of emergency, boosts the National Guard presence. And then, but then Tucker Carlson says he wants riots. Tucker Carlson rips Wisconsin Governor AG for refusing to say if Jacob Blake was armed. That's an interesting question. I don't know. I don't know if it's relevant. Well, it could be relevant if he's armed. I don't know. While squad members continue to praise the greater movement, business owners in cities such as Kenosha are picking up the pieces. I want to get off this topic. I really do. Excuse me. By the way, I do have my cup of reparations coffee. I only have a few minutes. Oh, I've been running my mouth for a long time here. Let's see. Oh, this is weird. Marquis staffer calls for complete destruction of white men. Well, wait a minute. Isn't Marquis a white male? You're a white male. I need that. I need that one. That's a sound clip I need. You're a white male. Okay, Marquis staffer. This is his own, someone on his own staff. This is isn't he a senator from Kentucky or something like that? Yeah, Massachusetts, I'm sorry. A campaign staffer for Senator Ed Markey, Democrat, Massachusetts, took to Twitter to request the utter and complete destruction of white men, a group to which his boss belongs. I'm once again asking for the utter and complete destruction of white men. Abhi Argawal tweeted after a Democratic State House candidate in Kansas refused to drop out after admitting spreading revenge porn. Well, that dude needs to go the fuck away. This is the kind of demented language that passes for normal among the educated professional left activists and operative class. Has Abhi ever met his boss? Aaron Coleman, a 19-year-old Kansan who defeated his district's incumbent in the Democratic primary, admitted last week to releasing revenge porn. Oh, this is a Democrat who did this shit. Oh my God. Oh, here it is. Admitted last week to releasing revenge porn and engaging in cyberbullying when he was in middle school. Well, that's in middle. What? Wait a minute. Which part was all of that in middle school? I'm just curious. He's only 19 years old. Coleman's admission prompted Kansas Democrats to disavow his candidacy, and Coleman agreed on Sunday to drop out of his race. But on Tuesday, Coleman reversed his decision and said dropping out would return power to the same corporatist, out-of-touch 7-term incumbent that voters just rejected. We cannot undo democracy because I am a flawed individual who has made mistakes, Coleman said. That is not fair to those voters. They deserve to have a choice this November. I wonder if he's in a safe district for a Democrat. I don't know. Argwal, who works as a member of Senator Markey's digital campaign staff, has since deleted the tweet. Well, that's just, God. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. That's funny. Let's see if there's any other weird headlines. We'll go for the weird ones today. How about that? Yeah, you can't seem to undo that. Oh, that mistake. Oh, for timing somebody out. Who did you time out, Renee? What did you do? P-Dog, you might want to check your block list. I think Damn It Chadwick is on it. Do I see Damn It Chadwick? Chadwick Dupree, I'll apologize. I'll fix that a little bit later. Yes, he is hidden. Okay, we'll fix that, Chadwick. Don't hang in there, my friend. All right. Let's see. Oh, interesting. Democratic mayor says Joe Biden too weak, too scared, too sleepy to stand up to the radical left. Huh. Let's read this one. This is a Breitbart article. I'm not going to read. I'm not going to read a Breitbart article. I do like. Not that I dislike Breitbart, but they're going to come up for the most sensational stories they can find. Let's see here. Oh yeah, this is we talked about Joe Larkhart lashing out at Nick Sandmann. Hilarious. Okay, this story's funny. Here we go. As soon as it pops up. Leftist host suggests Trump Jr. snorted cocaine backstage at the RNC. Trump Jr. back to the host. You must have confused me with Hunter Biden. On Monday night, Kyle Kulinski, host and producer of the YouTube show Secular Talk and no fan of Donald Trump Jr. or his father, issued a tweet insinuating that Trump Jr. was backstage at the Republican National Convention snorting cocaine, using an image of Kermit the Frog from the Muppets to represent Trump Jr. I think he just used that Kermit the Frog meme. That's hilarious. You must have confused me with Hunter Biden. Trump Jr. was likely referring to the fact that Hunter Biden was discharged from the Navy Reserve in 2014 after testing positive for cocaine. So, yeah, that's funny. Okay. All right, it's time to check the news. See if there's any raging new headlines here. Let me just double check. I'll tell you what. Ground Zero, 3 months later from Minneapolis. That's different. We're going to talk a little bit about Minneapolis tomorrow. My town, or my metroplex, I should say. I'm actually in a suburb of St. Paul, but it's all one big, giant, happy family in Minnesota here. Let's check the latest news and then get the hell out of Dodge. As soon as my thing goes up here. By the way, I didn't realize I had this arrow going. There we go. Don has severe allergies. Oh, does he? Okay. Wait, we also... we didn't hide straight Sith mail. Okay, we'll fix it. Chadwick Dupree, I promise I'll get that fixed by tomorrow. Let's check my notifications here. Oh, thank you. Chi-Town J, Mitch the Ripper, Becca Farley, Gamer Valine, Cynical Lindsay. Wait, no, you sent me a thing. Oh my God. Hang on a second. Gamer Valine. Oh, this is oh yeah, we did cover this. That was the lead story today. Gamer Valine. We talked about Joe Lockhart attacking Salmon as a snot-nosed entitled kid. Yeah, that was terrible. All right, in the Explore tab, top news today apparently is if multiple people shot during the third night of protest in Kenosha, Wisconsin, following the police shooting of St. Jacob Blake, according to reports by the New York Times. Here, I'll put the article on. According to reports by the New York Times. Why? How about, I'd rather them reference local news outlets for things like this. But anyway, according to the reports by the New York Times and Washington Post, multiple people were shot amid ongoing protests against police brutality in the city. Well, I don't think they were protesting against police brutality anymore. What's going on? What happened? Did my stream die? No, it did it? Hang on. Should be working. What was the F for? Anyway, hang on. Jacob Blake's father told the Chicago Sun-Times that his son is paralyzed from the waist down after being shot by police over the weekend. Yes, but that's not the story. The story is about other people being shot. What you need to know, reports by the New York Times and Washington Post say multiple... Well, we already knew this. We knew this last night when it happened, thanks to Elijah Schaefer. Governor Tony Evers has declared a state of emergency in Wisconsin and called on the National Guard in expectation of more protests. Jacob Blake's father said his son is paralyzed. Officers involved in the shooting, I'm assuming, have been placed on administrative leave. The Wisconsin Department of Justice is still investigating. I'm still yet to figure out what they think those officers should have done in that situation. They already used a taser on the guy. They already fought with the guy for a few minutes. And then he goes and reaches in his car. I don't know. It's hard to say. 3 people shot, 1 fatal. Well, now 2 have died. Battle in the streets. So it was not the police, though. It was not a police shooting. These were mayhem on mayhem crimes. All right, what else we got here? Let's go on the news tab. Doc Rivers delivers a powerful comment and an emotional speech on police shooting of Jacob Blake without knowing the information. I bet he doesn't know a lick of the information. I bet he's seen one video and heard about it from people who talk about it. Let's see what Doc Rivers said. I'm curious. I'm going to guess it's from a position of not knowing details, but let's hear it anyway.
Sad. What stands out to me is just watching the Republican convention, and they're spewing this fear, right? Like, all you hear is Donald Trump and all of them talking about fear. We're the ones getting killed.
Really?
We're the ones getting shot. We're the ones that we're denied to live in certain communities. We've been hung.
I want to know what community Doc Rivers has been denied living in. Yes, we have in the past. I have parents who dealt with redlining in the 60s. I've never had to deal with it. I've never seen it. I worked in that industry. And I know for at least, now granted, some local municipalities, there may be some unwritten rules. But as far as lending, as far as real estate, we bent over backwards when I was in that business to do loans in areas that were called emerging markets. And it's still that way in some ways. And unfortunately, we got a little overzealous with it, the 2000s. The industry, the government did. And we made bad loans, and lots of people defaulted on those loans because of the push for that. And there was no redlining. Okay, it wasn't where if you I'll tell you what, if you got an approved loan for a $300,000 house and you're a black family and you go look at a $300,000 house, if you got the money, they're going to sell you that home. I bet you Doc Rivers doesn't live in the hood. Where does Doc Rivers live right now? Where does LeBron James live right now? Kevin Garnett, when he played for the Timberwolves, did he live in North Minneapolis, or did he have a $5 million home on Lake Minnetonka, or wherever he lived, Plymouth, Wayzata, wherever he lived? He had a $5 million home out western suburbs. Banking policy that led to the collapse of the real estate in 08. It was government policy because they were so afraid of organizations like Acorn putting out some bullshit report about lending that never mentioned credit. I was there at the time. It wasn't banking policy. They forced us to do certain things that were bad ideas. And they were encouraging bad ideas, and they were encouraging lax standards. They encouraged alternative ways to determine income, that if you went by the normal standards of lending, you'd have never given loans to a lot of people. And a lot of people defaulted because of it. And there were certain people out there that were, what's a good word for it? Assholes, who the only reason they got in the business because they wanted to make a lot of money. And unfortunately, it was a lot of the brothers who got into the mortgage business during the time and were just, they knew they could make 4 or 5 points on a loan when most people just charge 1. But they knew that if when you're doing bad credit loans, you can charge 4, 5, 6. I knew guys who were making 8 points on deals at taking advantage of people, and they didn't give a shit if those people defaulted or not. And the government encouraged it because you're helping out some minorities or some emerging markets. Ooh, Lord. Don't get me started on this. I don't have time. I could go for an hour on this subject. And the government was so happy that the housing market was booming and more people were, home ownership was up and yada, yada, yada. Little did they realize that some of the things they asked us to do and some of the products they gave us that made it easier to give away money also made it easier for people to default on the loans they were getting. But then Acorn would still come out with a report. Oh, yes, there's disparity in lending. Yeah, the disparity wasn't based on race. The disparity was based on credit. So they made it easier for people with bad credit to get loans. And all these companies were trying to bend over backwards to, just to make sure that Acorn and didn't talk bad about them. I didn't give a fuck what Acorn said. I laughed at the report because what they do is they wrote the first report in 1996, and all they did was release the report every year to make a news story in the New York Times that would get covered by every newspaper in the country. Said the same shit every year. The report was the same damn report, almost word for word. They just changed the numbers every year. It was a big bullshit report. And when they got exposed by Project Veritas, I was like, hell yeah, get them the fuck out of here. Because they were full of shit. Anyway.
We've been shot, and all you do is keep hearing about fear. It's...
Look around, Doc! I get it. And all you hear and talk about is fear. What do you think the RNC or the DNC is telling you? That black men should be feared? We're getting shot in the streets every day? No, we're not. They amplify every certain type of event. Now, I'm curious. I got to go into shot by police. Maybe tomorrow that's what we'll do. We're going to go in shot by police and see who's been shot by police this month. Because we already know that there are white people get shot by police too. Have you heard about any this year? We know there are white people got me. Now, and I don't care. Don't even try to say you're sticking up for white people. No, I'm not. But perspective. We have no perspective. And no one, this is all some political bullshit. The Bushes, Clintons, the Obamas, and the Bushes. Yeah, they all did it. If that's a reference to what I was talking about with Doc, I understand, but you're being played, and the media is just stoking this fire. And if you think the riots in Kenosha or the riots in any of these cities in Portland, do you think 80 days or 90 days now of riots in Portland have anything to do with police brutality? Get a grip. Seriously.
It's amazing to me why we keep loving this country and this country does not love us back.
Shut up. You, oh my God. It's this kind of stuff. See, we're black people, we got to stop trying to we're instilling fear in our own people and pretending that there's cops killing people every day. Now, are there police shootings? Yes. And so, because the other day someone put something up, there have been 760 or 26 police shootings in 2020. Okay, what does that number tell you? Doesn't tell you a goddamn thing. But if you hear that, all you hear is that there have been 726 police shootings this year. What immediately comes to mind if all you hear about are the ones that happen to the rare instance of an unarmed black person being shot, which gets amplified all through the media? You immediately think, oh my God, they've killed 726 black people this year. No. 80% of those 726 are not black people. A vast majority of them probably were in a shootout situation or a very extremely dangerous situation to somebody where the police shot the perpetrator. 726 doesn't tell you anything except for how many. Doesn't tell you a situation in any of those scenarios. But if I am a protester out in the streets right now, and I'm protesting because they killed George Floyd, and I hear there have been 726 people killed by police this year. Oh, they've killed 726 black men. No, they haven't. No, they haven't. Is there a problem with police use of force? Yes. In some very rare cases. But in our country of 320-something million people, and over 10 to 12 million police interactions every year, and 10,000 arrests every year, $726 is a small percentage of a small percentage of a small percentage. Is it too many? I don't know. I don't know the situation on all 726 cases. I'm going to guess that of the 726, 700 are cut and dry. I feel bad for Doc Rivers, because Doc Rivers believes this because all he sees is CNN telling you that black men are being shot down in the streets. And he sees protests of people who are talking about black men being shot down the streets. Of course, we forget that 7,500 black people a year get killed by homicide. But I don't know. I feel bad for Dr. Rivers because he's obviously passionate about this. He obviously believes what he's saying. So clearly, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. He's and look, if Doc Rivers is this passionate about it, imagine there's a lot of black people out here who also feel this way and are scared because of this media narrative, of this narrative. I want to know what percent of those stops the cops necessarily go hands on. I would love to know that too, Kingslayer Damglaze. I agree. I would like to know that too. That's a very legitimate question. I think we should question every time someone gets killed or even has physical altercation with police. I'll tell you what, though, this Aaron Blake case, we know what happened. Now that we see the other video from the other angle, where the person who is on a warrant for a G something felony is fighting the cops, and then goes into his car with his hands while he's being, goes for something in his car. I wonder how many cases are people who are, now that the fact that I'm seeing this more and more, people resisting arrest with force. What's the dude down in Atlanta that died? They go to arrest him and he attacks the cops, steals a taser, points a taser at him. They shoot him. Rashard Taylor, is that his name? But yes, we should know that. We should have a database. We should have there should be someplace you go and say, okay, every use of force should be reviewed. I 100%. Yeah. First, BLM demanded cops wear body cams, claiming they were murdering black people en masse. So cops wore body cams. Then via body cams, it was proven that wasn't happening. Now they demand body cams to be removed to hide the evidence. Yep. Yeah, Rayshard Brooks. Thank you. Check your logic. So, hey, damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Gamer Fleet using some contraband today. All right, let's see. Let's check it out. Don Lemon's trending. Why is Don Lemon's trending because someone told me already why he's trending. Let's see here. Don Lemon says that riots have to stop explicitly because of their political impact, not because of what they mean for having a functioning society. The criticality of the rule of law and the impact on the lives of Americans. That is, he cares about it costing the Dems the election. Nothing more. Here's Don Lemon.
I do think.
Oh, shit. Come on. Oh.
For the entire country. I do think that what you said, what's happening in Kenosha, is a Rorschach test for the entire country. And this is a blind spot for Democrats. I think Democrats are ignoring this problem or hoping that it will go away. And it's not going to go away. And so, unless someone comes up with a solution over the next 73 days, or 70 so, however many days.
68 days.
68 days. So it's not going to, the problem is not going to be fixed by then. But what they can do, and I think maybe Joe Biden may be afraid to do it. I'm not sure. Maybe he won't. Maybe he is. He's got to address it. He's got to come out and talk about it. He's got to do a speech like Barack Obama did about race. He's got to come out and tell people
Wait a minute.
that he is going to deal
Wait a minute. Oh, my God. Have Joe Biden come out and do a speech that will affect these people rioting. Good luck, Don. Good luck. Oh, my God. Stop putting that word in my chat. You can put whatever you want in my chat, but I just don't. Come on now.
of police reform in this country.
Oh, my God.
And that what's happening now is happening under Donald Trump's watch. And on Donald.
Oh, as if it didn't happen before Donald Trump. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You know that list of names everyone likes to trot out that starts with Trayvon Martin? Was that during Donald Trump's watch? Oh, Eric Garner, did that happen during Donald Trump's watch? Oh, did name a name, and most of them, Sandra Bland, did that happen under Donald Trump's watch? No. Oh, oh fuck, none of the names, holy shit, Don. Try to
Donald Trump's watch. And when he is the president, Kamala Harris is the vice president, then they will take care of this problem. But
really?
Guess what?
Wasn't Joe the vice president? Wasn't Joe the vice president when Mike Brown got shot? Joe Biden was the vice president when Mike Brown got shot. What did Joe Biden do? What did he do to fix things in Ferguson, Missouri? Walter Scott. Who was the president when Walter Scott got shot? That was Barack Obama. The list, and here's the thing. While that list may seem like it's long, remember the span of time that list they like to use, how much span of time it covers. It's not like it's covering 1 year. They go back 10, 12 years on this list, right? No, not Sir Walter Scott. Walter Scott, the guy from South Carolina that was shot by a police officer in the back as he ran away, and the police officer's in prison now. That Walter Scott. But you got to go back in time because it's so rare. There's only 3 or 4 of these cases a year that they can publicize. Because sometimes the unarmed black man that gets killed, or the unarmed anyone that gets killed, it's because they may not be armed with a weapon, but they might have been trying to run your ass over with a car. They call that an unarmed perpetrator. If they try to hit you with a car, even though they're using the car as a weapon, you're unarmed, right? So they only have a handful of cases they can drudge up from any given year. So they have to drudge them up from the last 10 years to tie them all together so you can be mad and act like this is something that's happening every day. People talking about, and even Trayvon Martin wasn't even killed by a cop. But they dragged that name in there. Mike Brown, hands up, don't shoot. Michael Brown, upstanding citizen. Mike Brown, powder burns on his wrists from where he grabbed the gun in the cop's car. Or powder residue, right? Can't get powder residue if your hands aren't near that weapon. So they proved that his hands was on the weapon. The witnesses say ran at him or charged him. That's why, what's his face, whatever his name, got acquitted. The cop. God, Don Lemon.
Rioting has to stop. Chris, as you know,
yep,
and
Joe Biden's going to get the rioting to stop from his basement.
I know. It's showing up in the polling.
Ah,
it's showing
good.
up in focus groups. It is the only thing right now that is sticking. And the Democrats tonight stuck with that, right? And they also stuck with the theme that you said, the coronavirus. You got coronavirus and you have Kenosha. I do think...
Wait. I smell desperation. All right. Anything else in the news? Let me check the news, and I gotta go. You're getting a bonus minutes today. Where's the news? Okay. Oh shoot! Body of missing Fort Hood soldier Elder Hernandez was found. Oh goodness gracious! This guy was missing for a while. The body of 23-year-old Hernandez, who was last seen on August 17th, was found about 30 miles east of the base in Texas. Fort Hood has been the host to a series of recent tragic incidents. What the fuck's going on at Fort Hood? Good God. Found along railroad tracks in Temple is believed to be 23-year-old Sergeant Elder Fernandez. Family attorney Natalie Kwam tweeted overnight, "Our worst nightmares happened. One of our own, Sergeant Elder Fernandez, has been found dead today. We are sickened by this tragedy that has happened one too many times." Yeah, what the fuck's going on at Fort Hood? I think they're gonna find out that there's a serial killer, some shit. Baffling story about 8 soldiers who have died in mysterious circumstances at Fort Hood this year doesn't mention its commander, Lieutenant General Pat White. Somebody needs to figure out some shit there. Rest in peace to him. All right, let's check just any more headlines. Multiple shot, we already know that. President Trump who did he pardon? Wait, President Trump pardons John Ponder, a convicted felon who is now a prisoner rehabilitation activist. Oh, that's right. He did that last night too. Yeah, the Democrats are just fucking pissed. On the second night of the Republican National Convention, the president granted a full pardon to John Ponder, who founded a not-for-profit that offers rehabilitation to former inmates. Ponder served 5 years for bank robbery. President Trump said, "John, we honor your devotion to showing returning citizens that they are not forgotten." He received a state pardon from separate crimes in March. So good for him. And hopefully he can continue his mission. What the hell did I do here? I have Lindsay's thing up here and I need to, there we go. Let's see. Also, so people are talking about that. Some people, again, are saying there's theatrics involved. But hey, guess what? You get the bully pulpit, you can do that kind of shit. They're still talking about black hair. That's from yesterday. U.S. drug crisis is made in Mexico with American raw materials. Okay. Doc Rivers, we already saw that. Anything else new? Weather reinforcements to help firefighters battle California wildfires that have killed at least 7. Not good. Oh, Olympic Sprinter Usain Bolt tests positive for COVID-19 after birthday. That's not good. And then, okay, there's nothing else new. All right, that's it for today, folks. Got to call it a day because I have to be somewhere else very soon. Thank you for joining me today on the Morning Night Live. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you haven't already done so, before you click that, whatever you're about to click, please hit the thumbs up button before you go. Because I know not all of you watch the outro because it's kind of the same all the time, right? And my ending's always the same. But before you go, please, please, please click the thumbs up. Unless Duck Dog's here because he always clicks the thumbs down. But that's just between me and Duck Dog. It's not a bad thing. It's not a personal thing. Interact. If you're watching the show on replay, please leave a comment in the comment section. And if you'd be so kind, share the stream out. Hit the share arrow down there. Or go up here at Twitter, Mayans, Gab, and Parler. You can retweet or repost or whatever they say on that particular platform. And if you'd like to, if you really like what we do, you can always help a brother out and throw a couple bucks in the tip jar via Streamlabs or by Venmo or Cash App in the description down below. Thank you today again to Gamer Valine, to Rydeos, and Bear Cock for the generous super chats. I very much appreciate it. Everyone have a great day. I'm here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 1500 GMT for my friends in other parts of the world that don't do American time zones. So there you go. I gotta go. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. My name is Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the Dawg Knight Channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comments section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.